Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I think we heard Wolfie bark, and also over the sound of the zombies taking damage. But hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. What's going on out there, Wolfie? Is the coast clear? Oh, he was right outside. Interesting. All right. There's a lot of craziness happening here today in Far Lands or Bust. But yeah, welcome back. It is episode 388. 388 episodes of Far Lands or Bust. That's madness. Madness, I say. I think I say that every single episode, but it continues to be madness. It is Ness of Mad, and we are continuing on. Today is Wednesday, August 6th, 2014, and we gotta watch out for creepers, because apparently we were, and spoiders. Alright, that one's a little bit angry. It's an angry spider. Angry spider. And, gotta be careful, because we were apparently awake long enough for things to have spawned. And this forest, in the times we've been surprised by creepers in the past, it has been near or in forests. So we must keep our eyes peeled, our reflexes at the ready, our bow poorly aimed, apparently. But yeah, welcome back to Far Lands Bust, episode 388, Wednesday, August 6th. Still raising money for Child's Play charity over at farlandsorbust.com, up to $8,565.55. I think there was a $10 donation. I imagine somebody at some point wanted $8,555.55. But that was spoilt by whoever then donated $10, but not spoilt in that they're helping get toys, books, and games to kids in hospitals around the world. Great cause, childsplaycharity.org. You can hear more and learn more about them. I don't know if you can hear more unless you have like some sort of screen reader that will read aloud the text on the website, but you can learn more about Child's Play Charity at childsplaycharity.org. Look at this landscape. Look at it. Look at it. It's neat. Let's take a screenshot. Wolfie? No. And sit. Well done. All right, now look at me. Look at me. You're not looking at me. No, that's the wrong way to be looking. There, up. Look up. Oh, you noodle. There we go. Oh, yes. Sort of. This angle is all wrong. And now there's a patch of dirt. Here we go. Boop. I think I got that. Did I get that? Yes, okay, I got that. Oh, there, then he just looks directly at it. Well, you said I got that, so I'm gonna use that for purposes, and we are going to continue on. Yeah, $8,565.55. Oh, I'm like all over the place. I'm a little bit discombobulated. It's quite late, as you saw in the screenshot timestamp. I'm recording this at 3:26 p.m. Normally I get around to these between 10 and 11 a.m., so I apologize if this has published later in the day, especially thanks to recent YouTube delays, but had a lot of stuff going on this morning. Had to go grocery shopping, which was just great. Oh, there's a whole like empty area inside that mountain too that I hadn't noticed. Neat. Had to go grocery shopping, had to start walking the wrong way. Dang it. How did I do that? How and when did I do that? See now, if I hadn't accidentally strayed in the wrong direction. Is that right? Yeah. Wait, which way is the sun going? Okay, it's going, okay. If I hadn't strayed in the wrong direction, we would have never seen this awesome little place, and we would have never taken those screenshots for sharing later. But that happens every now and again. And I did go to the left, so I've just undone any of my progress, or at least some of my progress I've done trying to shift right, flank right, to offset the offset I was at, the 0 offset, anyway, with the westerly direction. But anyway, went out grocery shopping, blah 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 blah. So a little bit behind schedule here today, but we're getting on track here. It's going to be a Wednesday episode. Come heck or high water, this episode will go up today. on the YouTubes. Although we're not in any hurry, of course. And another thing not in any hurry, segue, is the Rosetta spacecraft. Just yesterday, well, actually just this morning, technically, the Rosetta spacecraft finally arrived at its target comet 67P, and this is 10 years after it was launched in March 2004. 10 years after the mission was launched, it did a few flyby kind of orbital boosts around Earth and then around Mars, and for a couple years was in kind of a parked hibernation orbit. It was woken up and now is finally in orbit around its destination comet. Like I said, comet 67P. It is 100 kilometers from the surface in orbit, and the pictures that are coming back are very highly detailed and very, very cool. But think about it. 10 years since it's been launched. The instruments, the cameras, the technology on that spacecraft, while bleeding edge at the time, you can assume that NASA and these spacecraft use, obviously, what is beyond what is just capable to obtain by us mere consumers as far as the digital technology was concerned at the time. But by the time it's reached its objective, is 10 years old technology, and it still works, and it's getting us great and amazing pictures. But that's always something you have to consider when you consider deep space, specifically planetary missions. I mean, think about if we're going to send a mission to Europa. You kind of have to almost anticipate the things you want to learn or you're going to learn, and then put those instruments on the spacecraft, because once you've made these decisions, once the things have been signed off on, and the budget and the building of the spacecraft completes, you can't really say, well, wait a minute, now there's something else that we've thought of that is much more important, or this new camera technology is much more viable. It's kind of difficult to go back and start over. That's one of the I suppose unfortunate things which with our current spaceflight abilities is that time is certainly of the essence, but also affects a mission and its goals in a big way indeed. And even they recently also announced that the next Mars lander, that I believe is the schedule is to put it on a landing in 2020, is basically quite literally going to be the same rover as Curiosity, the Mars Science Laboratory that's up there now, the nuclear-powered platform. But they've recently announced all of the instruments that are going on there, and there's a little bit of disappointment in the space flight, space exploration circles, if you will, spheres, orbits, I suppose you could say, that mostly all of the instruments, while new and slightly different from what's currently on the Mars exploration rover, or not Mars exploration rover, the Mars Science Laboratory, they seem to just be looking for the same things. Like NASA is searching for water, basically evidence of past water and evidence that it could have supported life. Whereas there are some in astrobiology, in planetary exploration, who say maybe you should be looking to see if it could currently harbor life, perhaps even look for life itself, the microbes, the byproducts even, or to an extent maybe look for the fossilized, the historical presence of microbes or bacteria is a little bit, would be a very difficult thing to do without a sample return generally, but that's another question. Well, why do just another kind of copy and paste of a mission when maybe we should develop a sample return mission, a robotic sample return mission? But it's still good that there's still attention being paid to Mars and the exploration of Mars. It's just, I suppose, a lot of us are impatient. We want to see certain things within our own lifetimes, and that does not appear to be the case. That is going to be happening. Is that we're going to have to wait a significant amount of time before we learn these things that we so desperately want to know about our place in the universe. and whatnot. But yeah, there's a little bit of space news to open up the episode here, aside from the little bit of confusion and wrong walkiness, wrong way walkiness we had there. But let's make an elevated hidey hole. I have some news about Farlands or Bust. It's been canceled by the network. No, I'm just kidding. Oh man, imagine if we were at the whims of like networks and like Firefly getting canceled and shows getting canceled and stuff like that. Boy, I sure hope Netflix picks up Farlands or Bust. Anyway, let's go to sleep and continue walking in the morning. Ooh, I wasn't ready. Snoring noises, etc. And awakeness. And continuing onness. But yeah, I have some news about Farlands or Bust in the news. Flob in the news. I recently tweeted or retweeted or whatever a Polygon article. Polygon is a gaming blog, I suppose you could say. Has an article. They're talking with the New York Museum of Modern Art, commonly referred to as MoMA, M-O-M-A. About, for a while, they've been curating and kind of adding to their collection video games as forms of modern art. I do remember a few years ago there was a traveling exhibition that went to the Museum of Science and Industry here in Chicago, and I'm sure elsewhere. I believe it was set on by MoMA that was all about a collection of video games as art. And anyway, they were talking to... Who were they talking to? Paul Galloway, who is the Study Center Supervisor at the MoMA's Department of Architecture and Design. Ooh, look at this kind of ripped up landscape. It's ripped up! It's gotten messed up. Ooh, can I just walk right through there? I think we're gonna have to do that, but wait, I'm gonna look over here first. There is some interesting, like, inner cavular lava. Inner cavular lava? It's a lava tube. Lava tubes. Ooh, that's it. That is quite neat. Quick, Wolfie. Oh. Picture time. Look. Boop. Okay. I'm like a tourist. I am a tourist. Woo. But what was I saying? Okay, yeah, anyway, they talked to this Paul Galloway, and he brought up... They were mainly talking about, in reference to kind of archiving gaming as art and archiving art and curating art, but they were talking... Oh, this is gonna be dangerous. Oh, I should actually light the way so I don't, like, fall into a hole. Alright. Oh god, alright, yeah, it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. Alright, we went through a tunnel. A natural lava tube there. It's probably a spawner or something. But he was talking mostly about, what the heck was he talking about? Crumbs. They were talking about one game in particular. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. Dwarf Fortress? Or... I think so? Something. Anyway, a game. They were talking about a game, but in wrapping up the interview, this Paul Galloway individual... Hey! Pink sheep. Pink sheep. Pink sheep. Wow. It hasn't been that long since we saw our last pink sheep. Picture time. Turn around, pink sheep. He's not turning around. Anyway, pink sheep. The other one I spared, but you, I will obtain your 2 pieces of wool and carry them onwards. And perhaps, well, don't forget about Wolfie though. Nah, let's go right there. Ooh, that's a nice waterfall. This is a nice area. Pictures. Sorry, this is getting kind of old, isn't it? Alright, that's enough pictures for this episode, unless I see something totally awesome and amazing. Perhaps like another pink sheep. No. So yeah, anyway, near the end of that interview, he was talking about... I'm a little bit turned around here. Let's find our way down. He's talking about how, yes, the games are seen as art, but also now they are considering how to include things like derivative works of art, such as Let's Plays. The Let's Play is kind of throwing another kind of twist into the the acquisition, I suppose, the curation, is that the word? Is that the active tense of to curate? The curation of video game art is the Let's Plays, and he specifically points out that guy who's walking to the edge of Minecraft, far lands or bust, and how this itself could be seen as a form of modern art, perhaps performance art. He says, quote, about Far Lands or Bust, he says, "That is an extremely artistic thing to do. I can imagine many conceptual artists of the 70s. If they had been in our current environment, this is exactly the kind of things those guys would be doing. So look at me, everybody, being compared to the early 70s conceptual artists, being referenced by the supervisor of the Department of Architecture and Design of the New York Museum of Modern Art. Far lands or bust." Ah, yes. Fedrin on Twitter replied to that, and I'm like, haha, if only my university Farlands fine arts professors could see me now. Telling me I don't got what it takes. I'll show you. No, I don't know that any of them. There were a few. You always get a few bad professors. Bad Professor sounds like some sort of movie that would star the Wayans brothers, but or perhaps Johnny Knoxville. So that's kind of crazy and cool. And I've always talked about how, in a way, Let's Plays, gaming commentaries are a form of art, perhaps, as the games themselves are a form of art. It's there's broadcast mixed in there, but then again, some people you could consider some forms of broadcast to be art, like broadcast plays or improvisation, or even music. Music has a little bit of a different dimension, but we've got that going. It is storytelling, almost film like. Like I say, Minecraft is such a great game to Let's Play because it is. I should keep my compass out because I had problems today. Minecraft is great because there is no underlying, story that drives the gameplay, so that it gets out of the way, and Minecraft serves basically as a stage like on a play or a musical or something. So Minecraft is the stage, and those of us making these Let's Plays are the writers, the actors, the directors, the whatever. And you can create set pieces. You can create entirely different worlds that aren't even equivalent to the default Minecraft worlds. The textures, the sounds, everything can be changed. So it's a stage, and here I am performing for all of you. I am a thespian. A thespian like the Respian. What? Beg your pardon? So yeah, that was very cool. Kind of a cool thing to see. Also today, I don't know if it was released today, but somebody tweeted at me today. There's a channel called In Numbers. It talks about the numbers related to certain topics, and they did a Minecraft in numbers, and at the end of that, they referenced the guy walking to the far lands who was walking for this many episodes or these many years, and is only 11-point-something% of the way there, and failed to mention that it was called Far Lands or Bust, or that my name is KurtJMac, but a little bit of a reference there. So very cool stuff indeed to always see that, and at no time expense of my own. I had to do no interviews. I didn't have to appear on the radio. I didn't have to reply to a bunch of emails. Just that's what's called passive marketing, everybody. Oh man, but yeah, that's kind of cool stuff. I do have some alternate news. If you were around yesterday, I did my first weekly live stream yesterday, Tuesday, kind of in the morning. Didn't have that many viewers. I apologize. I forgot to make and upload a video announcing that I was around, that I was live streaming at the time to publish to YouTube. But YouTube has a feature now. If if you do so happen to be watching one of my videos whilst I'm live streaming on Twitch, they'll add an annotation on an overlay over my video saying, Kurt is live streaming right now. So maybe some of you saw that, maybe not, but it's all right. It's still a work in progress. The live streaming on Twitch TV/KurtJMac. I learned many things yesterday, and we'll be applying them and trying to get better and better as the weeks go on. So I hope you all don't want your refunds, because it was like, oh, this isn't what I imagined for a weekly live stream. It's the first one. Give me a break. But related news, that same day, literally right when I finished live streaming, they waited till I was done. But Justin TV shut down, just bam, almost out of nowhere. Shut down, all accounts were closed, all archives were deleted. Justin TV, for those of you not aware, is it's kind of just a live stream, like Ustream, live stream, we all stream for live stream. Just, one of the first-ish, one of the original live streaming services that the folks behind Justin TV kind of did a spin-off after they saw all the people on Justin TV broadcasting video games, saw the rise of that. They created Twitch TV. So Justin TV was spawned off Twitch TV, for your little history lesson there. But Justin TV just yesterday shut down completely. And, it wasn't really used that much. Obviously, they were surpassed in competition by Ustream, by other live streaming services like Livestream, or, even to the effect now Google, the Google Plus thing, the Hangouts or whatever, which are but yeah, they shut down, and I will propose a hypothesis about such things as these in the morning. And shut down websitesness. It did before I get to my hypothesis. Wolfie? Oh, just taking a bath? All right. Wolf, yep. Ooh, crater. Before I get to my hypothesis, it did get me thinking about, I think it was the last episode, somebody asked, they were talking about vinyl records and archiving, stuff, and they asked if in 100 years, people would still be able to watch Far Lands or Bust or my videos, and I'm like, I'm not sure. I guess it depends on how long YouTube is around, and also just the archives of my own files. They're obviously not being etched into a clay tablet or anything like that. They're in the cloud, and they're here on my discs, and they're in multiple places for the immediate future, but for the distant future, I'm not sure. And of course, now talking about the New York Museum of Modern Art, perhaps they want to take it upon themselves to start curating and archiving. I mean, that is kind of what museums are all about. Museums, by definition, in general, aren't necessarily about putting on display for the public. They are about archiving and saving. That's why in most museums, 90% of their collections are hidden away and not seen to the public. They're in, climate-controlled archives, labeled and, kept dust and free from the ravages of time, to kind of preserve the cultures and the history and the knowledge of the world at the time. Maybe that's what MoMA wants to do. MoMA. It's funny to say. But certainly not now after I do that brilliant display of high culture right there. But yeah, anyway, that kind of got me thinking when Justin TV suddenly shut down. It's like, well, okay, sure, right now YouTube is top dog, but it was bought by Google in 2006. What if in another 8 years, what's going to happen? What if the next big thing that nobody knows about comes up and buys Google, YouTube, and says, oh, okay, YouTube is being shut down. All accounts and all archives are being deleted. Then what? Who's to say YouTube is going to be around forever, to be around for the next 10 years? But anyway, enough of my crazy apocalyptic musings. We're talking about Justin TV shutting down. It comes at a very convenient time. It almost seems as though, if the rumors are true, the continued rumors, it still has yet to be confirmed, despite despite the link bait articles that are being written about, ooh, Google to buy Twitch for 1 billion, confirmed. Not really confirmed, but confirmed. It's still just a rumor, but it would be entirely sensical that Google would buy Twitch with the premise, with the agreement that they shut down Justin TV, because they have no interest in Justin TV. They have their own live stream capabilities on YouTube. They don't want to compete, and they also don't see any value in Justin TV, and they're kind of intertwined in the same technologies. So shut down Justin TV and we'll take over Twitch, sort of thing. I'm not saying, but I'm saying. Also, just today, Twitch announced that they're removing permanent stream archival storage. Speaking of archives as well, just this episode is just loaded with segues. Speaking of archives, but yeah, that was a little bit ago. They announced that they wouldn't automatically, by default, save your live stream archives. You had to actually go in and say to archive them. Now they're saying they're not archiving any live streams unless you cut them out as specific highlights. Highlights, if you make a highlight, that will be saved indefinitely. But if you are just a regular old Twitch broadcaster, you only have 14 days to make those highlights before those live stream videos are deleted. Or if you are a turbo or a partner account, 60 days. And then, like I said, highlights would be able to save indefinitely. And they've also announced their own built-in export function. I'm assuming, I haven't tried it out, but I'm assuming it's like export and save to your own MP4 or FLV or something. That was a big problem I always had before. There was a send to YouTube, but that was always kind of broken. So I had to use, there was an external website, kind of a third-party website that was able to lift and separate your broadcasts so that you can download them to your computer, to your hard drive, and that's what I just did that yesterday to the live stream on Tuesday, and then switched it to an MP4 in Handbrake, and then brought it into Vegas and clipped it all together. So now apparently there's a built-in Twitch export function, and again, the noodle is a noodlin'. Kind of think, oh, they don't want to save archives indefinitely, perhaps because they don't want to compete with YouTube, perhaps because Google would rather the users export their broadcasts and then later upload them to YouTube. Wow, I don't know if I could have made a more annoying sound right just then, but yeah, I don't know. Just ideas. It's not official yet, but just the fact that people are talking about it. Maybe they're just stalling because they're trying to smoke out whoever this person close to the deal is kind of who's got the big blabbermouth. They're trying to smoke them out with the delays and making them sweat. Who's the source? Who's the anonymous source that all these articles are being written about? But yeah, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff indeed. Before this episode completely ends, let's answer some questions here from Far Lands or Bust Child's Play charity donors. Boothy5 asks, will you ever visit New Zealand? That would be a very cool place to visit. I suppose it looks great and amazing in the Lord of the Rings movies, of course, and that's probably their biggest. I think they even use it in their tourism kind of advertising approach. So, the things I've seen there are simply just the natural landscapes, the beauty, I suppose, the mountains, the whatever is going on there, the ocean, everything is right up my alley. Very, reminds me a lot. It's kind of the opposite. Well, if this isn't a spawner, I don't know what is. Probably isn't a spawner. No, that's not a spawner. Apparently, I don't know what a spawner is, so we're continuing on. So yeah, New Zealand would be a very cool place to visit, much like Iceland, I was about to say. The opposite hemisphere mirror image of Iceland is kind of that same kind of wilderness aura to it. Of course, if I was going to go all the way to New Zealand, I'd want to check out Australia as well. But gosh, those flights They'd be a nightmare, I say, a nightmare, those flights, both in terms of just the comfort level and also the price level and whatnot. So it almost seems like if you're gonna do that, you might as well like make a couple weeks out of it as opposed to just a standard 5-day vacation to New Zealand. 2 of the days we'll be traveling each way. So yeah, that's an idea. That would be a cool place to go. Also, I suppose it'd be cool to see the southern constellations and whatnot. Look at that gravel, defying its physics and place in the universe. How dare you, gravel? How dare you? But yeah, that'd be cool. They go on to ask in a completely separate question, absolutely no segue whatsoever. Dang it, Boothie5, you gotta use a segue. When will you finish NASCAR the Game 2013? And if you do, will you do the same thing in NASCAR Racing 2003 season? I don't know. I should. You know, I did like the idea I had a month ago of maybe just releasing an episode every Sunday, like the NASCAR races actually happen. I'll get back into that. The next race I think is supposed to be at Talladega in the game, not in real life. I don't know what they're doing in the real NASCAR season, but yeah, I'd like to give that a shot to get some gaming variety here. But if you saw what video I uploaded earlier today, you'll know I have quite a lot of gaming variety on my channel as it is. So maybe, you know, I'm kind of concentrated on Grid Autosport right now for my racing game. You know, you never want to have too much of the same thing as a variety gaming channel. If you are simply a Minecraft channel or whatever, then yeah, I guess that makes sense. It would, you know, people like Etho or Seth have experienced when they do try to branch out into other games. It's like it's the end of the world for their viewers and whatnot. So yeah, I'll try doing that. It's a fun game to make fun of and just to kind of just be a complete crazy man about. Would be NASCAR 2013. Would I do it with 2003 season? That one's just a little bit more difficult because I want to do good at that game, because I was good at that game, and now that I'm not good at that game, it gets a little bit more frustrating, and it's a little bit because you have to be good at it in order to even be competitive, even at the easiest difficulties. It's a difficult one to commentate. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that. I mean, you could check out the archives, the past times I've played NASCAR. The Papyrus game is the one I'm speaking of. The possibly the best racing simulator ever made for the PC. NASCAR. I'm sorry. NASCAR Racing 2003 season by Papyrus. Did a couple videos in that. Some of them turned out pretty funny. But yeah, otherwise that's one of those tough ones. Wolfie? Oh, you want to stay up there? No. Oh, or not. Hello, Wolfie. Yellow Wolfie. No, over here. And boop. Well done. All right. Guard the door. Guard dog. And let's make out the rest of the full-size end of the episode hidey hole today. My shovel and my axe. My shovel. My axe. My sword. We're mixed up on the bar there. It was confusing. I was very confused. But yeah, thank you very much for the donation, of course, to Child's Play Charity. And that question, Boothie5. I'll get to more questions next time, Friday. It's going to be Fan Friday. But tonight, I'm going to sleep on a bed of iron, of raw iron ore, like a king, like an iron king, like an iron curtain. Reference to myself. All right, let's make the beds for tonight and the next episode. And even though we're kind of surrounded by ice here, I don't know if I'll be able to use it. Let's make a boat. Plunk down the beds. Do this and appreciate. I'm telling you to appreciate yourselves, and I appreciate you guys for watching, for donating to Child's Play Charity. For those of you who were able to make it to the Derp Fest, that was the first weekly live stream. I'll try to make like a default video just to upload when I'm live streaming that you guys can know about. It's actually guaranteed not to be next Tuesday at the same time. I'm going to switch things up. Going to be trying out different times for the live streams, but we'll get to that. And yeah, that's how that goes. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you, woof, next time. MoMA.